All right, media, thank you for joining and your flexibility on the early start. We will go to Chris Camello with Nightcast Media.
Hey, Kristi, good morning to you.
Morning.
I'm doing well, thank you, and I hope you're doing good as well. As Phoenix comes into town for this two-game set, obviously they're always a tough matchup. What are you, as a team, looking forward to accomplish after kind of a tough road trip?
Yeah, getting back on the right track and getting back in the winning column. We're obviously excited to be back home. We've been on the road a significant amount of time so far this season. So just having, that home court advantage, having fans back, back in our element, back in our normal, it'll be good. And, Phoenix obviously is an extremely talented team, playing pretty well. So looking forward to the matchup.
We'll go over to Brady Klopfer with SB Nation.
Kristi, what's the atmosphere been like on the practice court? Tough losses, but you're right here in the thick of the standings. Still, great chance here with this schedule and these home games. What's the atmosphere been like?
It's been great. I think obviously we're not satisfied with the end results of these recent games, but we're extremely motivated and excited for what can be. And we're working extremely hard. We're having great practices. Our communication with one another has been great. Our attitudes have been great, and our overall approach to every day has been phenomenal. So, the losses don't reflect, I think, the effort and the mindset and the intention that everybody has, and the positive spirit that everybody is having throughout this. This little storm that we're going through, but it's the adversity that's going to make us great in the end, and our attitude throughout it. Practices have been great. We've been, learning a lot. We've been having very productive days. So that's all you can really ask for.
John W. Davis with Winsider.
You mentioned all of the adversity and different things going on. Have you been able to challenge yourself through all of this?
Sure. I mean, this season is going to be challenging for everyone, myself included. There's going to be highs and lows and adversities. And, I think it's just a matter of all of us sticking through it together and making one another better every single day. That's what we're doing. And, it is a process. Nothing is going to be built, in the first 9 games of a season, especially with such a new group. And the adversities and injuries and things that we've had. So we've had a lot of people in and out, but we're grinding through it and we're staying the course. And I think attitude above everything is the most important thing, of just staying positive and understanding that this is a journey, and we're just going through it.
Sukni Nguyen with the LA Times.
Hi, Kristi. Nia Coffey's kind of bounced around this league, had a little bit of a journeywoman's experience here, but it seems like she's really carving out a spot here with the Sparks. What does she bring to this team that you guys value so much?
She's been great. This is actually the first time I've really gotten to know Nia in my career, in my time in this league. And she's, first of all, a sweet person, has a great attitude. She works hard every single day. And then basketball-wise, she's versatile. She can play multiple positions. Right now she's playing a lot of the 4, which I think, for her, she's probably more so used to being a 3. But she just has that mindset of whatever the team needs me to do, I'll do. And that's been great for us. And just her spirit, her wanting to learn the game, her IQ, her just overall just feel the person. She gets it and she's continuing to learn, and she's a sponge and she's just trying to soak up as much as she can. But just overall, she's just a great teammate, a great person, and a player that hopefully this will be a great stinking spot for her, because she has bounced around, but I'm glad she's with us.
Time for a couple more here. We'll go to Sabrina Merchant with SB Nation.
Hey, Kristi. It seems like to start this season, you've been a little less prolific of a shooter than you have at some of your previous, seasons. I'm just curious how you're navigating that balance between being a scorer and also trying to fill in your role on this new team?
Yeah, well, my role is to score. So I have to do a better job. I think with newness comes, unfamiliarity and rhythm, and shooting is all about rhythm and knowing your spots. So it's taken a little bit of time. I think obviously being away from the game for a year, it's going to affect the time and the feel for everything on the court, especially going game speed. But I'm not concerned at all. I've been doing this my entire life. My coaches, my teammates all want me to score the basketball, and I will. And I'm still finding myself in this, and I feel really good about the direction that we're going and that I'll be going.
Time for two more. We'll go to Sylvia Guevara with Beyond Women's Sports.
Hi, Kristi. How are you today?
Good.
Just a quick question. How much fun you're having this season, and what's the biggest lesson you learned this season?
What was the first part?
How much fun you're having this season, and what's the biggest lesson you learned this season?
Well, I'm having a lot of fun. And I'm having a lot of fun. It's always great to have an opportunity to play with new players, to have an opportunity to be around new coaches. You just learn a lot. And I think what I'm learning right now is to, better communicate, taking a big step in that, and also having, a lot of patience. Whenever you start something new, you have to remain patient in the process, and communicate, the things that you're seeing, the things that you're feeling, and vice versa with all the people that you work with. And, those are two areas where I think everyone can improve on, but certainly in a team setting like this, and something so new, communication and patience is going to be everything. And I'm extremely lucky that I'm able to have lessons like that, because it obviously doesn't just apply to the basketball court, but everywhere else in life. So those are two things for sure.
Last one for Kristi. We'll go to Rashawn Haylock with Spectrum Sportsnet.
Hey, Kristi. I'm curious, what's sort of the reception? These are a couple cup games we have coming up here against Phoenix. What's sort of the reception been like, personally, and then, in the locker room, as well as maybe even some other players you talk to around the league in terms of this new addition?
Honestly, we haven't talked about it much. Obviously those games have, significance. But for us, it's just about every game is equally as important. And we're just trying to communicate on things that can help our team get better every single day. Whether it's a cup game or regular season game, we're just on this journey. We're just trying to win as many games as possible and try to continue to get better every single game. And even throughout some of the losses, we are getting better. We are coming together. We're seeing things. We're growing together, and that's what's more important than a cup game or a regular season game and the outcome. It's big picture for us right now.
And on a individual level, how do you best describe you finding a rhythm when you're bringing the ball up versus when you're playing more off the ball?
It's different. And, I just have to continue to, be comfortable and find myself in both areas. Obviously, in past situations, I've done one more than the other, but, here I'll do both and I'll find myself in both situations. And so it's a matter of finding that comfort and that rhythm in both places and wherever I'm needed. And all things take time, but it won't take that much more time.
Thanks, Kristi.
Yeah.
All right, media will be back with Nia, Coffey, and Derek momentarily. Thank you. All right, questions for Coach. We'll start with Rashawn Haylock with Spectrum Sportsnet.
Hey, Coach. Good morning.
So,
How,
Rashawn,
what's going on? How would you? It's still early, obviously, but how would you sort of characterize or describe, I guess, just sort of the ebbs and flows of this season? You know, kind of the ups and downs, things that you all have had to deal with as a team.
yeah, I mean, I think, you know, they maybe aren't always like documented or experienced in the same way, but usually every season is filled with, you know, tremendous ebbs and flows and ups and downs and adverse situations. And so you know, you really try and explain that and share that with players that, you know, this is not necessarily, you know, this so vastly uncommon thing that, you know, we still can't find a way to, you know, to make the most of it and you know, find a way to continue to build the right habits and build on the right principles. So, you know, we aren't feeling sorry for ourselves. There's no excuses. We're not, you know, the things that are taking place for us, like, you know, we can manage it, we can control, we can do a better job of putting ourselves in position to win these games, regardless of, you know, our roster or our lineup. But we, you know, we definitely, you know, we understand that there are going to be these ups and downs and ebbs and flows, especially in this league. There are very few teams that are able to kind of separate themselves and you know, just kind of consistently stay on one level. You know, it's just not as many teams, and it's a hard, you know, league to master in a sense because of the way things are structured. So we'll figure it out though, and we're going to keep doing the work.
You play a lot of road games. Nice little stretch here at home. What are you hoping to come out of this or see out of this?
Yeah, I mean, I think here at home, you know, having a chance to get on our practice court at times, you know, when it's appropriate, you know, the ability to watch, you know, more video and for the players to be able to sleep in their own beds and get rest and, you know, and being fortunate enough to, you know, start to have some fans back in the building the last couple of games, like all of those things, you know, they add up hopefully to our team feeling better and more energized and able to sustain the effort, you know, it takes to win a 40-minute game. So, you know, we think that this stretch at home can be good for us. You know, we have a number of younger players that we're asking a lot of that, you know, hopefully being here at home, you know, can be good for them as well. Like I said, to have some consistency in our day-to-day schedule. And it's hard to explain how brutal travel days are in this league and why we have to keep doing a job to figure out a way to improve it for our players and for these teams. Because that for sure impacts, you know, a team's ability to be better on the road.
Thanks, Rashawn. We'll go to Sabrina Merchant with SB Nation.
Hi, Derek. First up, I just wanted to see if there's any update on Shanae's status for these upcoming games.
No, I mean, today is Tuesday. I have no idea what day of the week it is. But yeah, no, Shanae's like still, you know, kind of pretty much day to day and week to week. Like, she looks good, you know, physically from where she was, you know, the last time she played Chicago, getting better. But we're still like really trying to figure out what's the right timing of like not having her play a game or two and then, you know, have a little bit of, you know, discomfort or reaction to like just the amount of work that she does. And try to get to a point where when she's back, like she's back. And so we're still kind of trying to navigate that. But, you know, she's attacking physical therapy really aggressively, you know, attacking her workouts good. You know, hopefully we can get her back on the court here pretty soon, you know, and start thinking about what that return date will look like. Things are going in the right direction, but I say as far as this week, she wouldn't play in any games this week, even though we're still trending in the right direction as far as hopefully getting her back soon enough.
And then obviously no Taya tomorrow, but how have you seen her improve this season, specifically since she's gotten into the starting lineup?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Get me started with that one. Yeah, no, I mean, I think, Tez does a lot of good things for us that we'll miss, in that game tomorrow night. A lot of, young fans are getting, they'll miss her as well. Tez a popular and very well-known player in our league. And, it's unfortunate that, she won't have the opportunity on that platform to help us continue to grow the game. But we understand the rules and what the ruling was and is, and, we'll react accordingly. But it's just, it's an opportunity for others to step into that space and help us, have a chance to get a win. Namely, her defensive energy and activity. She makes a lot of things happen for us on the defensive end that gets us those additional offensive possessions that we need. So that's the first thing that jumps out is, we're going to need multiple somebodies to replace the activity she provides us on that end. And then offensively, her usage rate is one of the highest on our team, not because we call a lot of plays for her necessarily, but because, she is really determined to get to the paint, to touch the paint, and be aggressive, get into the basket. So, we're going to need players to also, kind of take advantage of some of those opportunities that'll be there for them tomorrow night.
Duke, new win with the LA Times.
So I think we just talked to Nia and she had stayed a little bit extra on the court for some open shooting. So for her carving out a spot in this league after bouncing around a bit, how would you describe the work ethic that she's shown to you and the coaching staff in her short time here in LA so far?
Yeah, I mean, we're not surprised at the work ethic. Like, Coach Latricia Trammell had worked with Nia before. We obviously played against Nia. Our basketball operations group, doing our homework and due diligence and, as best as possible. Like, we knew Nia was a hard worker, a great person, high character, high integrity. But I think sometimes that gets lost in how talented she actually is, right? Like we like to throw out all the superlatives about work ethic and this and that as though that's what it is. And that definitely is what it is. But, she is highly talented as a player. So we just feel, very, very fortunate that the opportunity presented itself to have a conversation with her in free agency and that she was willing to come here and earn her spot, we couldn't guarantee or promise her anything, during those conversations, but I think she has a kind of quiet and humble confidence about herself that led her to believe that she could come here and be impactful. And that's what she's done. So I don't think she's surprised. And, we're not overly surprised either, but it's good to see someone that does take their job seriously and they work hard at it every day. And those things carry over into her consistency in the game, and it all goes together. And so it's a great example of, what, especially for young players, it's a great example of what it should look like, and being a professional in this league.
Go to John W. Davis and Winsider.
Obviously, we know that Taya is going to be out, but do you think, this game is a great opportunity, being that it's at home, and you mentioned the the rigors of travel. I mean, you only have one road game, and that's just the Phoenix, basically between now and I think the 4th of July. So do you think this is a good opportunity for, some of your guards like, Brittany Sykes and Holmes and Arella to just really get going, knowing that like there's more minutes there because you're just down another person?
Yeah, I mean, we hope so, honestly, John. I think a couple of weeks ago when when we kind of got hit with the back-to-back injuries and, all of a sudden we were facing Indiana coming off of a road trip and we had 8 players and we had no idea what to expect. They came out and played, probably the best game of the season for us in terms of, offensive just efficiency and flow and confidence and everything because, maybe because they knew there was nobody else to get the job done but them. And so, here we are kind of back in that situation again where, we just don't have a lot of bodies. And, we talked about the good pressure that sometimes comes with that. So, we'll see. I think the most important thing is that, again, like, none of our players get kind of caught up assuming that them getting going can only be them shooting 7 out of 10 from the field. It still means a lot if you're 2 for 8 and your team wins the game. And so, don't hang your identity or your hat on, well, if I'm making shots, then I'm playing well. You can still play winning basketball and impact the difference between winning and losing without necessarily hitting a lot of shots or shooting it well. Kobe Bryant had one of the worst shooting games of his career in Game 7 of the NBA Finals in 2010. He was 6 out of 24. And, but he got 15 rebounds and he competed hard and he left every ounce of energy he had in his body on the court that night. And that's often the difference between winning and losing. And so, if we can get eight people doing that tomorrow night, then hopefully we'll still have a chance.
Thanks for the great turnout today. I think we have time for 3 more here. Amna Subhan with LA Daily News.
Hey, Coach. With the state of California opening up today, from your standpoint, do you know if that changes anything at LA Convention Center? And just in general, how has fans helped the team with energy-wise, and what will that look like for you going forward in this homestand?
Yeah, I mean, I think, for us at the convention center, I don't think it changes dramatically, where we'll be while we're there at the convention center. I think there's a capacity limit that just due to the size of the hall and how we're set up there, we're not going to surpass a certain number no matter what. But we're, we appreciate and need every single body in there that is going to come out and cheer for our team and, and push our ladies over the top. So, so we're excited about, things continuing to progress in that direction, which is just great for Southern California, great for the community. A big part of sports are the fans, being able to turn out and support the team. So it may not change dramatically for us in the immediate, but obviously in the coming weeks, depending on how far the Clippers continue to advance and where that puts us in our season in terms of the Olympic break, et cetera. At whatever point we get back to Staples Center, I think that's when you'll really start to feel the impact of, having a significant number of fans in the building, and Sparks fans. So we're excited about that direction. But, the convention center has been home and we're looking forward to every chance we get on our home court to try to win. And, we're going to make the most of our setup there and try to get it done. But we're looking forward to having more fans in the building as much as we possibly can. And I think our players appreciate it.
Last two will go to Chris and with Brady.
Afternoon, Coach. How are you?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. I just wanted to kind of get any updates on Erica Wheeler. I know after Saturday, you didn't have an update right then and there, but you said she took a hard shot. I just wanted to kind of get your update. Is she in any concussion protocol? Did she practice today? That sort of thing. And do you expect her for tomorrow's game against Phoenix?
Yeah, no, we at this point we expect Erica to be ready to lace it up tomorrow night. She did not, when we were in Minnesota, she was observed by doctors and went through the concussion, observation and protocols, et cetera, just to make sure that there was no concussion, that was confirmed. So she didn't have to, enter the concussion protocols, which we're very, fortunate and thankful for, not just in terms of her availability, but just her overall health. And so, she was able to do, a little something yesterday, like she just felt better each day. She participated in all the practice today. And so, assuming there are no, kind of setbacks necessarily from, her practicing today, she should be ready to go tomorrow night. And we don't see any reason why she shouldn't at this point, but, we'll have to see how things go shooting around tomorrow. But she looked pretty good today. And so, she should be there and ready to go.
Hey, Derek, it's Brady. I'm wondering if you can tell me how difficult it is to prepare for a player like Brittany Griner when you don't have anyone of that size that you can use in practice to kind of emulate her. Is that a big challenge?
Yeah. No, I think that's a specific, like to Brittany Griner or to, Sylvia Fowles or to, very specific players in this league that just, have a size that you can't, you can't like pretend to be that size like that. So it makes them unique and and then you add how talented, she is and the way she plays the game to that. Definitely can't find that. But we do, what we need to do. Her size hasn't changed. NECA size hasn't changed. Players that we've had before, like it is what it is. I think the larger idea around practice players and some of those things that are kind of usual things in the WNBA that due to COVID you haven't been able to really have out. It definitely impacts your ability to prepare as much as you can for games, some of these situations. But yeah, I think even if you did have practice players and a guy that was just as tall as Brittany Griner, like you still can't do what she can do. So we figured it out in the past, and we'll figure it out as best we can as we continue to prepare for tomorrow night.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.